excited about documenting all this? What are you looking forward to, like, just documenting all of this?
Just bringing my story to light, man. I've always kept everything private. I've always kept my life private. That's who I still believe the type of person I am. But I'm starting to realize that people want to hear my story. People want to hear what I went through. They don't just want to see where I'm going, right? Because that's a given. You're gonna see what I'm going, because I'm already showing you, But I want people to know who I am. I'm not just Keys. I'm not just CEO Keys. I'm Nick Olivier first. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a friend. And I want everybody to see those aspects of myself. I think it's time to bring my light and shine my light upon the world. That's what I'm looking forward to this documentary. What's good, everyone? My name is Nick Olivier from Freeport, New York, born and raised, and just documenting the story of my life. What keeps me going is showing a way outside of the NFL, actually. Originally, when I made it to college ball, the goal was go D1, go to the NFL. But as I went further in my process, or further in my journey, I realized that all the reasons why I wanted to go to the NFL was from a material standpoint. I work for the money. I work here for the attention, for the status. But that fizzled out quickly once I realized the business of football and the adversity I went through in college just to even get to that point. Taking a year off of football really cleared my mind and rearranged my values of what football meant to me, and that is motivation. I realized you don't need to go to the NFL to be successful. And for me, it was really all about motivating the youth and providing another pathway.
We bosses, grew up on that field, the only thing we knew was compete. I ain't gonna never back down, no surrender, no retreat. Let them beat me to the ground, but I got right back on my...
So my journey, from the beginning, it all started with flag football, Freeport PAL. For those of you that know, you know. That was the one sport that I felt like, I could let out my swag, let out my inner confidence, and just overall have fun. From there, I went to Dodd Middle School, where I actually work at currently as a teacher assistant, and that's the first time I put on the pads. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little hesitant to lay some wood, but as I grew into it, I really came to love the competition. Outside of playing with my friends, there was just a certain rush that I got from competing. Then from there, I played at Freeport High School, 2 years on JV, 2 years on varsity. I was a 2-year starter on defense, 11th grade and 12th grade year. I played safety both years. We won a championship. My 12th grade season, won the Long Island Championship 2016. We had a lot of solid guys. That was when I really got my first taste of winning. And that's when I understood that, man, hard work pays off. And I didn't really get a clear concept of that until I started playing football and playing under a very successful head coach, Coach Russ Ellen. And from there, I went to 3 schools at college. My college journey was a bit of a journeyman experience. I went to Southern Connecticut State to start, but I wasn't qualified to play due to my grades coming out of high school. So I was there for 1 year as a non-qualifier, and I ended up transferring to Nassau Community College, where that's where I really found my home. And that's what I believe, and where I believe truly molded me into the player and young man. So I did 2 years from there. I was a 2-year starter at Nassau from 2018 to 2020. And we went to back-to-back bowl games, won one my freshman year and then lost the other one my sophomore year. It was a heartbreaking defeat. We lost by a field goal in OT, but that feeling was it stuck with me, you know, because that was the most work I put in going into my sophomore year that I ever did for football, and it paid off, but it was just short. And that lesson told me that you could still put a lot of work into your craft and what you love to do, but you know, sometimes it doesn't pan out how you want it to, nor how you expect it. So once that happened and I finished my career there, I received a full scholarship to Wagner College, and that was during COVID season, right before I signed my scholarship, right before COVID hit. So I ended up being there for 3 years because everyone who was already on a team during that time, they were already given an extra year of eligibility due to everything that went on that time. And that's when real adversity hit. And that's also when I started to understand that this game is a business. At the end of the day, once you reach to a certain level and once money's involved, there's always politics behind it. And that was a very trying time for me because in 3 years we only won one game. And that hurt me because I grew up winning, even from second grade all the way up to, you know, JUCO. I was always either winning a championship or I was in the mix. So I didn't realize how much work it takes, not just individually, but collectively, from how much work it takes to win a game. And once I was going through that process, it really shaped me and hardened me, I believe, as a young man, recognizing that scholarship is not just a scholarship, that's a contract. If you don't live up to that contract, you're in for a rude awakening for how you may be treated. And from that, going through that phase, it really burnt me out. I kind of fell off with the love of football, and I said I needed a break. I was actually thinking about hanging up the cleats up for good, but I remember one game, it was my last career game. We played Duquesne University, and I actually had a really good game that game, and I just let it all out. And I finished the season strong, and I was sitting on the bench, kind of like by myself, and one of the receivers came up to me. He was like, "So what's your plan?" And I was like, "To be honest, man, I don't even know." Like, I just kept it at that. In my mind thinking like, man, I'm hanging this up. And he said something to me that stuck. And it was, I don't know what you did from last year to this year, but you gotta keep going, man. Your time is not up. Your time is not now to stop playing, because the improvements that you made from last year to this year, you know, it really rang bells and you did your thing. So just that one interaction alone gave me the confidence, like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't give it up. I don't know what's next. I don't know how I plan on doing this, but I don't think I'm ready to give it up. If he recognizes, and he was a baller, if he recognizes that, you know, I know that I can't let this talent, can't let this gift go to waste. So I spent a year off trying to figure out who I was, what exactly I'm here for with football, and I ended up coaching. I actually didn't want anything to do with coaching. I was just trying to figure it out, like I said. And one of my former coaches, that he runs the youth organization in Freeport Red Ravens, Coach Kev, he told me, or he contacted me, and he said he was looking for coaches. He wanted a young set of guys that have a history of winning, that's been around the program, and also teach the children what it is and what it means to play football. Because that was my first time, they started me with the pee-wees, with the pups. So I was with the 5 and 6 year olds, and that completely changed my landscape of how I think about football. And I realized that I forgot football is about fun. F stands for fun. You know, if you lose that inner joy, that inner child, it's inevitable that you lose the love for whatever it is that you do. So when I realized that, I got that instant itch, like, man, I gotta play. I gotta find a way to play. And from there, I connected with Coach Mike from Long Island Receiver Academy out in Suffolk, and he did a great job with guiding me throughout the process of how to go about playing overseas. Because I would always go to his one-on-one session. He was like, man, you too good to just not be playing football. You gotta find a way to keep playing, man. And I ended up making a profile through Euro players. I hit up at least 3 teams a day. It didn't matter who or where they were from. I just wanted to play football again. And that's when I came across my brother Devon Buckram. He actually plans on playing overseas again. That's to be determined, and you guys will see him in a later episode. I was able to connect with him, and that's how everything came about, where I ended up getting that opportunity in Germany for the Berlin Rebels in the GFL, the German Football League.
Next question. What does greatness mean to you?
Ooh, that's a great question. What does greatness mean to me? Greatness means maximizing your full potential. Also, giving back. It's not just about yourself when it comes to greatness, because I believe greatness is tied to legacy. Nobody has ever made a legacy by themselves. They've always had people around their corner that either helped propel them and guide them in different aspects, whether that be mentally, physically, spiritually, and also have a good support system emotionally for those hard times. So that's what greatness means to me.
So the next question I got is, how would your teammates and coaches describe you in one word?
Passionate. For sure. I wear my heart on my sleeve on that field, man. I just let it out. I believe that that's the one place, I feel like that's the one place where, you know, I could express all the things that I'm going through inside. And I like being an enforcer, you know, someone who leads the way, that's on the front line from the start to the finish. I'm never going back down. I never did back down. I was always small. I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the strongest, certainly, but I always wanted to make sure that anytime you step on that field, you respect my name. And when we dap hands together at the end of the game, yo, you was a dog, bro. I feel like that's the biggest sign of respect, you know, when another man acknowledges that, you know, you got that grit, you got that dog in you.
So, have you ever dealt with any physical injuries or anything like that? Any setbacks?
Yeah.
What was one that really hit home?
I already know. Actually, for most of my career, I've been healthy. I haven't had a crazy injury besides 2. The first one was my second year at Wagner. The previous night we had meetings, and my left toe. So the injury that I had was a grade 3 turf toe injury, which took me out for 3 months. The night prior to the practice that I hurt my toe, it was like aching like crazy. And I was like, oh my goodness, man, like this is ridiculous, like it's hurting bad. And the next day I go to practice and I have a cleat rack, not cleat rack, but a box in my locker where I put on my cleats. And I only wear certain cleats. And this one day, mind you, I have this cleat. I'm looking at it and I never wore it, ever. And I'm looking at it like, yo, should I wear this cleat today? Nah, yeah, let me try it out today. Boom. So I wear it, everything is fine in practice, go through halfway through, I make a routine break on a hitch. I was expecting to jump the ball and get an interception and do my little dance. But boom, I planted on my foot and I just heard a crunch and a crack. And I'm like, oh, like, nah, something doesn't feel right. So I just hopped off. And come to find out, I got a grade 3 turf toe injury, and that messed me up because everybody was telling me what it feels like, what to expect. You're not gonna be the same. Your foot is not gonna be as strong as it once was. And I was getting so many opinions from everybody. I didn't take that time to pause and look inward, and that was the first time where I really felt that, I spiraled out of control emotionally, and I started indulging into weed to, help myself, and that I ended up getting in trouble because of that and almost kicked off the football team because of that, linked in or tied in with my grades. But it all started from when I hurt my foot. That's when I really started to lean in on drugs, like weed, just weed. But it was enough to have me not focused on my mission and what I initially came there to do. So that was a major one. The next one that I had was my first season in the GFL when I played for the Rebels. I got hurt in practice. I hurt my neck, and that was the most excruciating pain that I ever felt. It was like a shock wave that I felt in my neck, and it wasn't the same for that whole season, but I really had to dig deep and finish the season with it, and that really tested who I was as a person and as a football player, because you really don't know if you love the game until you have a significant injury. That's what I feel, and those two moments definitely tested me.
If you could give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
I got two. Always believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in you, how do you expect anyone to believe in you? And then the next one is, don't be afraid to be you. There was a lot of times when I felt like I had to be someone else to satisfy others and even satisfy my own ego, and that backfired every single time, literally every single time, and just went against my principles sometimes, and that messed up, that messed me up and set me back a little bit. But that's what I would say.
Alright, that. And our follow-up is, if you give advice to your future self, what would it be?
I like that one. If I can give advice to my future self, what would that be? Your time is coming. Your time is coming, man. All the work that you're putting in right now, all the early mornings, late nights, all the sacrifices of hanging out with your friends or even going out to events and partying, it's all gonna pay off. And all that fun that you want now, you're going to receive it full-fold in the future. So just stay patient, never give up, keep going, be you.
Anything you can say in German?
Sprechen Sie English?
What's that mean?
Can you speak English, or do you speak English?
Yeah.
That's all I know for right now.
There you go.
Classes on the way coming, so I'm gonna have a little more for y'all.
What else are you looking forward to just being in Germany besides just football?
I'm really interested to see how the dynamic is in the southern region. I've been told is very different than northern Germany, which is more like the city, the big city life. I'm really looking forward to compete against some of the teammates that I played with prior, and also other teammates that I connected with along the way. I really just want to compete again. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Outside of football, I'm looking forward to working on like my video taking skills and working on my camera skills in a new country, in a new setting. That's really what I'm looking forward to. Just seeing new things, experiencing. I really don't know what to expect from a lifestyle standpoint, but just more documenting about what it is that I'm seeing. I didn't do enough of that last time, and I think I kept it solely on football. and I want to change it up a bit. I want to be able to live now, you know, and experience that.
Would you say you have any fears in life?
Mm-hmm.
What do you fear?
I fear leaving my family behind, to be real. My dad is not in the best health situation, and there is still a lot of family things financially that are not yet figured out as a collective unit, as a family unit. And I've always seen myself as a pillar of my family and a rock, and I'm unsure if me leaving will the pillars fall, in a sense. You know, if I leave, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I know that if I don't take this chance on myself, there may not ever be a time where I get another opportunity like this again, or even find more opportunities to take myself in a position to where I can take care of me. And I've been taking care of everybody for so long. I put that weight on my shoulders, even though I know it's not healthy to. But I've come to realize, man, if I don't take care of me, how can I ever be able to take care of the people that I love in the first place? So I really kind of feel like Naruto, in a way, when he left the village with the sensei to focus on his training, and he had fear of doing that because he didn't want to leave his friends, but he knew in order to get to that level of power and build his skill and hone his craft, he had to do it. So that's how I feel right now. That's my fears. Now, things that motivate me, I'm big into music. I actually started rapping not too long ago. I got a few tracks, I got one track out, one single out, Just Do It. But I got a few more tracks on the way that I plan on doing. Actually, I'm about to go to the studio after this, get some work in. And that's my newfound passion outside of video recording and playing football. This is another outlet that I can express myself. So music has always played a big part in motivating me. When it comes to shows, I always like crime shows, but like boss, you know, with like power, you know, because I like getting the business lessons out of that. And I'm like, okay, I like how he moves, or when you're at a certain level, you gotta watch out for these type of people who want your spot. And there's a way to go about it in order to protect yourself and the people around you that got your six. So that I really like that.
What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote of all time. Actually, it's tatted on my arm. But are you hungry or are you starving? There's a difference. If you're hungry for something, you know, your stomach may be hurting, but you're not gonna go out of your way and make a plate. Or there might just be bread in the fridge and you might be like, nah, I don't feel like eating bread. But when you're starving for something, you're gonna find a way. How does that relate into life? Like, if you really want something like you say you do, you're going to go the extra mile and you're going to do the things that you don't feel like doing. So that's my motto too, that I love living by. Are you hungry or are you starving? That's what I would say. I got a message for the youth, man. Got to. This is for my dog kids, especially on the football team, the future LIC champions, man. Never give up. Always believe in yourself. Stay together. Because when it comes down to winning, you're gonna need that person on the left and on the right of you, and on 4th and 1, or on that critical down that you need to make a play. And how you connect with that person alongside of you, you know, oftentimes dictates those final results. So it's important to stay together and go after your dreams, man. Because the regular people ain't gonna tell you to go after your dreams. They gonna tell you to go take the safe route. Go after your dreams, but also know that it's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be easy, and it's not meant to be easy. Why? Because nobody can see your dreams. You're the person that gotta bring it to the light. And if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect anybody to believe in you? Boom.
Money.
Money.
That's it.
Easy money, man.